there, I'm Melissa Batt, the host of Priorities on Purpose, a podcast for overwhelmed direct sellers who want to grow their income, audience, and influence without sacrificing their mental health and main priorities. Whether you're just starting a new adventure or you're 15 years in and have already climbed the ranks, I want to help you have the life and the business of your dreams. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Or maybe you thought you had it and something changed. Whether you have your entire dream mapped out or have completely given up on all the possibilities, I'm here to remind you that God is bigger than the little box we put him in. This side gig is part of his plan. It's not your sole purpose, but it absolutely has purpose. As a Christian life and business coach, I'm here to help you get out of your head and live with intention so you can enjoy what matters most without the guilt. More time to do what you love, more peace, more impact, more money, and opportunities to give to those you want to help. I promise to be your hype girl, business bestie, and biggest cheerleader as I share proven and simple strategies that will be sure to help you live a fulfilled life with a strong, sustainable business. Are you ready to stop chasing all the shiny things and get laser focused? Put your earbuds in while you're cooking dinner or folding that laundry, and let's get to it, friend. This is one time when multitasking is actually going to be beneficial. Hey, friend. So today we are going to be talking about your business and how to assess it, why it's important, and where to start, and why you need to have a solid foundation in your business. Okay. So I'm going to really be focusing on direct sales, network marketing, but party plan businesses, that's where we're going to go today. However, if that is not you, I do believe that you're still going to be able to glean a lot of good information out of this for your life and for your business. Okay. So this is a huge problem that I find in direct sales. We want to, and I say we like I still do it, even though I quit 2 years ago. If you don't know that story yet, I resigned. Was a top leader in 31, which shout out to all my 31 girls. I still love you, still love the business, but it was time for me to resign and go all in with this that I'm doing now. And that's, again, a whole nother episode of when to quit and when not to quit, because there was a time I wanted to quit and I didn't because it wasn't time. And then when it was time to quit, I mean, it was just super, super quick. So that will be another episode for another day and a little bit more of my story, because I think that I can't win, I feel like, with direct sellers when I talk about this, because here are my fears. I'm just acknowledging the elephant here. Just me and you, we're going to have a talk. So my fear of really leaning in and helping direct sellers is that you're going to have this fear that I'm going to talk you into quitting. And that's absolutely not the case whatsoever. I would never do that. However, I will give you permission to quit if that is where God is calling you. I'm not here to keep you connected to your upline or your sideline or whatever. I'm not about that. I'm not here to talk you in or out of anything. And so my fear is that some people are going to be like, oh, I don't want to listen to this because she no longer does it. She's not in the industry and she's going to tell me why I shouldn't. She's going to knock on direct sellers. No, that's absolutely not my heart whatsoever. I would never do that. But then the other group of people, if I was still doing direct sales, would be like, oh, we can't listen to this podcast because she's going to try to recruit us for her company. And regardless, I would never do that either. And so I'm just going to put both of those to the rest to say, like, I am not going to convince you to quit your company. I'm not going to convince you to stay in your company. I am going to give you the tools to have a strong, sustainable life and business, because I believe they go together. And I truly believe in the gift of direct sales. Like, it changed my life, and I believe it can change yours if it hasn't already. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to talk about direct sales in the party plan industry specifically. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little story about one of our newest Success Lounge members. Not going to name her by name, but she's going to know who she is when she listens to the podcast. So she joined and she's so excited. Like, she joined the Success Lounge, which is my group membership where I help direct sellers. And she's like, I'm all in. Like, tell me what to do. What do you need me to do? Because they get Voxer access. So she's voxing me And that's just a voice memoing thing where we voice memo each other back. And I offer branding packages. And she was like, do I need a branding package? I'm ready. I want leadership. I want to go all the way. Just tell me what to do. And I love that attitude because those are the people that have what it takes to get to where they're going and where God wants to take them. But with all that being said, I had to tell her no to the branding package. Would I love to do the branding package? Of course I would. She will eventually get a branding package and I will do it for her. And I love doing them because it really just helps the women that I work with show up with more confidence and clarity and authority. And so I love doing that. So she will eventually get one. But right now we have to really talk about where she is currently and make sure she has a solid foundation. A branding package is fun and exciting, right? We want the branding package because it's the shiny thing. You know what shiny thing I'm talking about, right? Anyone else chase shiny things or is it just me? I am an Enneagram 7. And so I do love all the fun, shiny things. But I feel like even if you're not into the Enneagram or you are not a 7, it doesn't matter. A lot of us get caught up chasing the shiny things. Maybe it's ADHD. I have that too. Anyway, so she was ready to go all in and do whatever it takes. And so she wanted to know if she should do the branding package. And I said, no. What do you think we should probably focus on? And she said, parties. I was like, yeah, we should probably start with the basics. And the basics are fun. Nobody likes booking parties. I don't know anyone that loves booking parties. Like, yay, I'm so excited to sit down and ask for parties because I love being rejected, right? Because if you're asking for parties, you're going to get a no. You're probably going to get a lot of no's. It normally takes quite a few no's before you get the yeses. And nobody likes dealing with rejection. And so we avoid those things and focus on the fun, shiny things. Am I right? I know I'm right. So anyway, she realized she needed to book parties. And so that's where this whole entire podcast episode came from, because it was just a great reminder on why we need to focus on the foundational pieces, right? So when you start working with me, this is kind of where I go. I want to help you have a sustainable and successful business. Successful, like depending on what, like your goal of success and mine might be different. My definition of success doesn't matter to you. I want to know what you want out of your business, and then we go from there. I found this Bible verse that just automatically kind of came to my mind, and I'm going to read it to you. I looked it up so I wouldn't butcher it. It's Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes in torrents and the floodwaters rise and the winds beat against that house, it won't collapse because it's built on rock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. Okay. So do you see where I'm going with this? Like, we want to make sure that we have our business on solid ground. And if we are having it on solid ground, what does that look like? It means that we have parties on our calendar. We have the sales coming in. We are sponsoring. We're doing all the things that are necessary to get us to where we want to go. Granted, not everyone wants to build a team. If that is you, that is okay. We can take that part out of the foundational pieces. But we want to really assess where we are and look for damage or potential damage in the future, right? Because the rain is going to come, friends. And when you are living out the thing that God is calling you to do, resistance is going to come. I talk a lot about this. I've been talking about this for 2 years. The circle the wagon thing, where you got to get your things in order. And part of getting your things in order is getting your business in order. Before we can build a second level, we have to first make sure the foundation is built, right? And it's solid. We want a solid foundation. I know I keep repeating that, but I think it's really important to remind you over and over and over. I need a solid foundation. And so what does that look like? how do you know if you have a solid foundation? I'm glad you asked because I'm going to help you. So grab a pen and paper and you're going to write these things down. These are some questions to start asking yourself. How many parties are you currently holding per month? Are the sales coming in from the parties? Are you booking off of your parties? Are you chasing sales monthly? On a scale of 1 to 5, how happy are you in your business? On a scale of 1 to 5, how happy are you at home? Are you stressing out regularly and feeling guilty because it seems like you can't get everything done you're wanting to do? Those are some great questions to help you see where there are some cracks in the foundation. Example, if you're having parties, but you're not getting the sales, there's a problem there, right? Like, where are the cracks? Is it in your hostess coaching? Is it in not getting good hostesses? Is it in your party format or however you're doing your parties, whether it's a texting party or a Facebook party or an in-person party? Like, what is going on that is keeping you from getting the sales from the party? Are you following up with your parties? Like, what are those kind of things that you can be doing? Are you chasing sales monthly? I'm about to get on my soapbox because I was the girl who was chasing sales monthly for a really long time because I hated doing parties. And listen, I was good chasing sales. I can get sales like no tomorrow. Give me one day, I can have you a couple $1,000s in sales. Almost guaranteed. The problem is that's not sustainable unless you are getting in front of new people. If you're not getting in front of new people and you have the same people ordering every single month, that's not sustainable. Eventually, they're going to be tired of buying whatever you're selling and they're going to move on to their next shiny thing, right? And so we have to continually be getting in front of new people. The party is the best place to get in front of the people because it's one to many. I call it a stage, and that's a whole nother episode and another time where I can talk about that. But the party really is a great use of your time because you can get in front of many people at the same time. You are saving time, saving energy, all the things. Actually, I also really love the mega party, which I can share about in another episode as well. When you're looking at the parties and you're not getting the sales, like, that's a problem. Chasing the sales monthly. Again, why aren't you getting parties? What's going on with you that you're not doing parties? Now, obviously, this is for those of you who have the party, your business is built on parties. If it's not, that's fine. You can skip that question. But regardless, are you chasing down the sales? Are you staying up till midnight trying to hit your numbers? If so, that's not sustainable. In my opinion, you are manufacturing the numbers, and that is not where I want you. I want you to be able to go to bed at a decent hour and the numbers be there automatically already. Like, so you don't have to worry. So many times when we're chasing sales, we're in reaction mode, right? I don't want you to be in reaction mode. I want you to be proactive. I don't want you to have to be responding to what is right in front of you and like constantly be dodging bullets, right? That is where burnout comes from. I want you to be proactive so you have the most control. Are you solely in control? No. But there are a lot of things you can do to protect your peace when you're proactive. Proactive is where the peace is. Reactive is not. It is not peaceful in the reaction zone. Can I get an amen for that? Okay. So again, these questions, I don't ask them to shame you. I ask you these questions because it's part of the process. The answers tell us a lot about what you have going on and where there's still work to do to tidy up and maybe create some systems. Listen, I'm a girl who flies by the seat of my pants, or used to, all the time. And I loved it. I thrived on flying by the seat of my pants. That's reaction mode. Being proactive means you have a plan. And if I can have a plan, you can have a plan. I want to help you have a fun and sustainable, successful business that brings you and your family peace. We must acknowledge the elephants and lean into what isn't working so we can move forward with confidence, consistency, and peace. When my clients work with me, oftentimes they know something isn't working, but they also don't want to face the reality of it. It's easy to pretend that all is well and live in the highs and lows of their business. At the end of the day, If you want to move forward and stop doing the same thing every day, you're going to have to do things differently. I think it's time, don't you? We must acknowledge what needs to change to ever have a fighting chance on creating that change. All right. So friends, this episode, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll chat again soon. Hey friends, that's it for this episode. If you found value, I would love it if you could take a couple of seconds and leave me a quick review. While it may seem super simple, it is so beneficial and gives me the opportunity to help more women. Also, take a screenshot and share it on social media with your biggest aha today. Don't forget to tag me at MelissaBadOfficial so we can connect. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, friend, keep walking it out one baby step at a time, because God's got you.